This is the way that you make grips work in no-gi. If you're too loose and slippery, it's just really not going to work. You have. All right guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be talking about grip fighting and how we kind of play in no-gi. So one thing that we really have to focus when it comes to switching from gi to no-gi is that you can't keep grips on your opponent for a long time. So you have to understand that to win guard in no-gi, you always have to be looking for the next grip exchange. So let's go through some basic but very effective grip exchange sequences that we can play. Depending on our opponent's posture, we are going to have different options available to us. We always prefer seated guard because we can use our hands and our feet at the same time. Versus if you're on your back, yeah, you can use your feet and your hands, but they're gonna get a grip first. Versus like this, it's quite equal as to who gets a grip first. So the first thing that we wanna focus on in no-gi is basically the concept that when the person denies their upper body, they always leave their lower body behind. So if Philip is leading with his hands in front of his knees, then my gambit is always going to be to get 2-on-1 grips or two hands like this and to pull him in and start going into his legs. However, pretty much all the time, anytime that I get a 2-on-1 grip on my opponent, he's gonna wanna posture away. As he does posture away, he always leaves his feet behind. And that's a perfect opportunity to go and attack the legs. So our favorite way to get to ashigarami or single leg X is to step one foot on the floor, other foot goes behind the knee, and we're gonna bridge and off balance him. Now that he's off balance with that heavy step, it's so easy to come in and connect to our ashigarami and start attacking and sweeping. Now, when we have an opponent that's leading with his feet, we have two main options. So when our opponent is leading with his feet and is quite tall, and maybe when we go to even reach his hands, he pulls away, we don't even get a grip, okay? He's pulling away straight away. In these situations, we're gonna attack his feet. So our opponent has to take steps to move towards us. If we notice that our opponent is square, then it's perfect time to go for our double Kichi attack. So if our opponent's tall, we're always looking to attack the legs. So one way that I like to set this up is I like to have a distance hand to push him away, okay, just to kind of fake him out, just to set my distance. And when I recognize that he goes square, I come in, I put my feet behind his feet, and I just push his knees. Sometimes they fall, sometimes they don't. If he's square and I go to push him and he backsteps with one leg, look, he's off balance, and now we're back in that same spot, ready to get into a single leg X. Alternatively, another one of my favorite setups is as we have our opponent walking around us, we're going to use Ashiwaza attack the feet. So as we have our opponent walking around us, we're going to look for the moment that their foot lifts off the ground. And as they do step around, we're waiting for that. And we're gonna extend his foot and catch him with another double Kichi. At worst, if they don't fall over, that's a perfect opportunity to off balance them and come back into the legs. Now, if we have an opponent that's leading with his hands, he's very low and his feet are far away, we can't even grab his feet, then we really want to play the hand games. So if we see this type of posture, then we really want to start setting up grip sequences on the hands. So the first thing that we're going to go for is always the 2-on-1. As they go to strip one of our hands with that hand, so you're going to push, that's our time to swap and upgrade to a 2-on-1. And now from this position, we're gonna pull our elbows in, and now we're nice and tight. So from here, we can, as he postures up, go for double Kichi attacks, knock him back, or we can use these powerful grips to pull right into guard, any type of guard that we want. Just an additional note on this, with this 2-on-1 grip that we're always looking for, we wanna make sure that our middle finger is right behind the funny bone. And our middle finger is also on the bone of the wrist, like this. We have heaps of strength, and we pull our elbows into our chest and we're nice and compact. This is the way that you make grips work in no-gi. If you're too loose and slippery, it's just really not gonna work. You have to be in the right spots with the right pressure. And now from here, he can do one of two things, okay? He can let me pull into a guard as I just showed, or he can pull away where my feet attacks and my single leg X will come into play. Now, if we have an opponent that's very evasive and they're really, really low and they're leading with their head, so like a wrestler type, they have their head in front of their knees. When we see this type of posture from a wrestler, sometimes, obviously we can go for the same things with the hands and these types of things, but this person might want to run around us straight away. So there's two things we can do in this situation. The first is we can attack Heists. So we recognize that his head is in range, he's leading with his head. We're going to reach for a collar tie. And now from here, we're going to heist up and push into him. As he pushes back into me, perfect time to snap him down and get to my front headlock attacks or to my back takes. Alternatively, from these positions where we have an opponent that plays like so, we grab the head, we heist up, and now if he stays as he is, we're going to threaten wrestle ups. And if he pushes back into us, we always have the option of the collar tie, snapping him down, or using his momentum to pull into our guards. Hope you guys enjoyed that. So that was just a brief little summary of grip fighting in no-gi and kind of the ways that you have to think about guard in no-gi. You're always upgrading to the next grip, and it's never about getting one grip and just staying there. You always have to move on to something better. So we want something, we can either pull them in and connect to a guard, or let them pull away and connect into their feet. If you guys enjoyed that, then subscribe for more. And if you like the way I teach and you want to learn more, comment school down below or check out the link in my bio for my instructionals. Thanks guys.